The Wii is one of, if not the most iconic video game consoles ever. It was so successful in its advertising for a more general audience that several third-party developers made games specifically for the Wii. One such game was Carnival MiniGolf. I had gotten this game as a kid and I played it with my brother. But when I decided to play it again, I had one question I kept asking myself. What is this game? After playing the game, I looked it up and found the wiki, which said it is the follow-up to the original Wii game, Carnival Games. That is it. The original game just appears to be a collection of minigames, but that just led me to be more confused. How did a game based off of Carnival attractions get a MiniGolf sequel? Well, as it turns out, this is one of two projects that the developers were working on as part of this series, with the other being a Carnival Games game for the DS. These details were published by Take-Two Interactive, which owns 2K Play, the publishing company of the Carnival Games series. This article also mentions how the original Carnival Games was ranked 5th in the top-selling Wii games of January 2008. So, money. Money is why they made a mini-golf game. Even with that explanation out of the way, that doesn't explain this game fully. Though, I think to demonstrate that, you need to see it. The game opens up into, oh my gosh. This game is far creepier than I remember. Anyway, you start by making a character. You are given 4 options between boy, girl, man, and woman. Normally I choose to play as a woman, but I knew that every option had its unique animations, and I wanted to show off the man's animations. So I closed my eyes, shook my controller before selecting one. Then you name your character. At this point, I didn't know which I had selected, so I just typed Jaskle. Turns out it was the man. Then you customize a bit more of your character and head out to the course. The game has 9 courses split into 3 groups by difficulty. The only ones available at the start are the easy courses, so we will start there. I again closed my eyes and selected a course at random, before getting Barnyard. Little did I know this was the worst course in the game. Each course has 3 holes, and you have the option to play by yourself or with... Yeah, I think I'll just play by myself. This course starts with a pretty standard first hole, with the only odd part being this henhouse. If you manage to get your golf ball in the hole here, you... He doesn't even finish half the time. Whoa. Yeah. On the first hole of each course, there's a minigame. If you succeed, you're more likely to sink your next shot in the hole. I try to do most of these and will cover them, though this one might be the worst, as the sensitivity of the motion controls was far too high to come anywhere close to success. Earlier, I mentioned that the man has certain animations. I felt the need to bring them up. These are those animations, and my live commentary of them. Pretty good!
Double
My spine! Don't include that in the video. No one wants to hear it. Oh. Why did they make this guy's animations just so miserable? These are just sad and stereotypical of dads in sitcoms. So I suppose that is to be expected. The next hole is several giant chicken eggs all over the place. Under one egg is the hole, but you can only figure out which one by breaking them with your golf ball. At this point, just take the penalty of picking up the ball and go around breaking every egg by hand. I'm not a golfer, but my brother is, and I asked him if this was against the rules of golf. This was his response. No. Mini-golf, though, would be fine as there are no rules. Fair question, though, is 1, would the eggs be considered man-made, not naturally occurring element? And 2, are these chickens okay because a golf hole is way bigger? When I explained that a giant chicken breaks out of the big egg and does a dance and all the eggs come back, so they might be naturally occurring, he said, magic is outside the realm of his knowledge. I then asked my dad for a second opinion, and he asked if the chicken eggs would be considered damage caused by an animal. Regardless, this hole is unfair as the hole is in a random location each time, leading to this hole being more luck reliant. The third hole is hitting the ball into the right bottle. The bottle has to be the one that makes the same sound that this farmer whistles with his bottle. This hole, along with every other final hole in a course, is designed to be an easy way to get a hole in one. The next course I played was Fairytella. I didn't do the minigame for this one, and I do not remember it. So for all cases where I didn't do it, I will show footage from Braindead Entertainment. I also linked their playthrough of the game in the description. Apparently, the minigame for this hole is watching gnomes come out of different objects and repeating the pattern they show up in. The next hole starts with winged pigs blowing air to cause the ball to go off course, and then you have to play pinball to earn coins. After that, you hit the ball over some lily pads and then into the hole. The final hole is hitting a ball off of a ramp, hitting a giant flower, and having it fall into the hole. This is probably the weirdest course, but I want you to know that it does have competition. The final easy course was Prehistoria. Baxter has dialogue when you select a course, and while I didn't listen to them all, I did listen to this one.
In this land go back, way back in fact, to the days of the dinosaurs.
You go back that far?
Enormous cre-
Just who are you, Baxter? This course was a favorite when I was a kid. Though if that lava is real, I don't think children should be playing here. I'd ask my brother if it's against the rules, but I think this is more of an OSHA problem. When I brought this up to my dad, he actually brought up a real golf course that has lava rock on it, which is pretty cool. I don't think this is rock though. There's a minigame where a pterodactyl takes your golf ball and flies it closer to the hole, but I didn't bother with it. So as I'm editing this, it turns out Braindead Entertainment also didn't do this minigame, but it lives in my memory. The second hole of this course is the least gimmicky second hole of the game. You hit the ball into a tube, and that tube will place it in the second section of the hole. This is similar to mini golf courses I've seen. The final hole is hitting the ball into a tube again, but this time only one will take it into the hole, and the others will hit it into the lava. After completing 2 out of 3 holes with a par or better, you unlock a more difficult course, which is how we get the first medium course I played was Keen's Court. The minigame here involved moving a trampoline to get guests from one side of the moat to the other. Similar to the barn minigame, this one had the sensitivity too high to be accurate. The next hole started normally, but involved lowering a drawbridge before the ball reached it. This was frustrating, as twice my ball stopped just as it got to this section, and one time I hit it too hard and it got to the moat too fast, and I didn't lower the drawbridge in time. The final hole involves getting the ball in one of these side holes so they can enter the main hole in one shot. The explosive barrels seem to just be there for show, but that alone must make it so everyone who comes to this place has to sign a waiver or something. As a side note, I mixed up this course and Fairytella quite often while I was writing the script. Why make 2 fantasy courses? The next course is Pirate's Delight. The first hole has a giant squid tentacle moving a board, so I found it easier to go to the pirate ship and start a minigame. This minigame involves aiming a cannon at another ship and firing it to sink their ship before they sink yours. While at first I didn't like this one as the controls were confusing to me, when I did figure it out, it was a bit fun. The next hole involves a rotating section that can cause your ball to fall into a water hazard if you aren't careful. But it was easy enough that I just completed it first try. Oh. Oh, really?
That's a bogey.
I can do better. I'm not going to, apparently, because I misclicked. The final hole involves you hitting off a ramp into a clam, which gargles down your ball. Your ball is then fired from a cannon into the hole. So I have some questions. However, I doubt I will be gaining an answer to them. So, Wild West, the best course in this game. The first hole places a mineshaft directly in front of you, which takes you to a minigame where you shoot ghosts to prevent them from stopping the minecart that your golf ball is in. Does this make any sense? No. But this game doesn't, so whatever. This was the most fun I had with a minigame. The next hole involves you hitting dynamite to blast your ball off towards the hole. The final hole is one that I think I'll just show you instead of talking about here. I just unlocked every course in this game in less than an hour.
Wild West!
And yet, as a kid, I never was able to do that. It's, according to this, I've been recording for 57 minutes and 36 seconds. Wow. Wow.
Hole in one!
And in the first try, too. What do I get for this? Revolver, please. Nah.
You unlocked this theme's special club!
Cool, but I don't really want it. The first hard course I played involved my only fear. Heights. Who puts a mini-golf course over a ravine? There are also magic portals that send your golf ball to the next platform. One of these portals takes your ball to a maze minigame where you try to rotate the maze so that the gravity moves the ball. This is one of the simplest minigames, but it was still quite fun. The next hole involves between choosing 3 different paths, each ending with a tunnel, to take you to another section where there are more paths that end with a tunnel. It seemed obvious to me that the hardest path was the one that was the fastest way to reach the hole. The final hole involved hitting the ball at just the right angle and with just enough force as to not overshoot into the alligators' mouths, or undershoot so it doesn't go over the hump. I must admit that I didn't finish this one, though, as I wanted to play the other courses and be done by this point. Amazion, which was immediately autocorrected to Amazon as I am writing the script, to no surprise, started with timing when to hit the ball up a slope so that these spikes don't stop it. Then you can play the minigame, which is a rhythm game. I'm not complaining, but I find it odd that this is the only minigame so far that doesn't use any motion controls at all. The next hole is pretty standard, but if you hit into this statue's mouth, your ball ends up really close to the end of the hole. For the final hole, you hit a golf ball up a rickety bridge, which breaks off behind the ball. My first thought was to hit it to the end of the bridge, but if you do that, the ball gets eaten by Snake. Instead, you're supposed to hit it a majority of the way up, then let the bridge fall from under it so that the ball lands on a platform below where the hole is. The final course I played is the one I was most fascinated by as a kid, despite never unlocking it. Spook-O-Rama. The first hole has you hit a ball under the house, past a graveyard, and past these vanishing teeth, unless you do the minigame. Which I didn't, though I wish I did. It is another one where you shoot ghosts. Given how much fun I had with the Wild West minigame, I know that this would have been fun for me. The next hole had 2 things down the path. a witch stirring a brew, and a demon-looking fellow with his mouth open and fire burning inside. But because I never judge a book by its cover, and because that is what I was supposed to do in Amazion, I shot the ball into his mouth. Unfortunately, that was the wrong choice, as I was told he ate my ball. In actuality, I was supposed to go into the Witch's Potion. From there, you play a standard mini-golf course. And they actually put a windmill! Why? Why here? Why here's the windmill? The final hole has haunted trees that blow wind, so your ball goes off course. The trick is to hit it hard enough and at the right angle to succeed. Or to quit because you had enough footage for a video. There are 2 collectibles in this game that can be obtained through gameplay: coins and puzzle pieces. Coins can be picked up and scored depending on your results, and can be traded at the shop for cosmetics. Meanwhile, puzzle pieces are earned by getting par or better on a hole. And if you get all puzzle pieces in a course, you can unlock a unique club, which apparently comes with a new animation. I did not know that. Despite having owned this game since I was a kid, I never unlocked every course. The furthest I got was unlocking 1 hard course. When getting the footage for this video, I had played every hole in the game, barring the tutorial hole, in an hour and a half. Despite the odd nature of this game, the fact that it doesn't always control well, and how it can be a bit creepy, this game is still a part of my childhood, and I still have many memories of playing it with my brother. So to me, Carnival Games MiniGolf is a weird but oddly nostalgic game, and I don't think it needs to be any more than that. Though I do wish it were called Carnival MiniGolf and not Carnival Games MiniGolf. That games is too hard to see. I only found out that it was there when writing the script for this video. I've been calling it Carnival MiniGolf my whole life.